Welcome to the explainer. Have you ever felt stuck? Repeating the same patterns, getting the same results, and just not knowing how to break the cycle? Well, today we're diving into a really powerful science-backed method for literally rewiring your brain and creating a new reality in just 21 days. And it's all based on the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza. Okay, so let's start with this quote, because this idea is the foundation for absolutely everything we're about to cover. Thoughts are the language of your brain. Feelings are the language of your body. It's not just some nice saying, it's basically the operating manual for your life. This connection between your mind and your body is what creates your reality every single moment of every day. So, here's our roadmap for this explainer. We're going to go on a 4-part journey. First, we'll figure out why we get stuck in these old patterns. Then, we're going to uncover the invisible loop that keeps us trapped there. And finally, we'll walk through the practical step-by-step process to break those habits and consciously program a new mind. All right, first things first. Why do so many of us feel chronically sick, stressed out, and just plain overwhelmed? Well, the diagnosis starts with understanding the 3 main types of stress that are constantly knocking our bodies out of their natural rhythm. We all get physical stress from an injury or chemical stress from maybe a bad diet or something in the environment. But for most of us, the real, relentless challenge, the one that's kind of running in the background of our lives all the time, is emotional stress. Now, our bodies have this brilliant built-in system designed to always return to a state of balance. It's called homeostasis. This is our natural state of health and healing. The problem is, constant stress acts like a saboteur, constantly messing up this essential, life-giving process. And just look at the sheer scale of this problem. A staggering 75 to 90% of all trips to the doctor are rooted in emotional stress. I mean, think about that for a second. It means our minds are literally keeping our bodies in a constant state of emergency, and that leads to real physical sickness. So, this constant state of emergency isn't just a one-time reaction. It actually builds on itself, and it creates this powerful and often really destructive cycle, which we call the thought-feeling loop. It all starts so simply, with just a single thought. It could be a memory of something that happened years ago, or maybe a worry about a meeting you have tomorrow. That one thought fires a specific network of neurons in your brain. Instantly, in response to that thought, your brain produces a batch of specific chemicals. These chemicals then flood your body, and you experience them as an emotion. Anger, anxiety, sadness, whatever it is. And here's the trap. This is where the loop closes in on itself. That feeling of anxiety then signals your brain to think more thoughts that are equal to that feeling of anxiety. So you feel bad, which makes you think bad thoughts, which then makes you feel even worse, and round the cycle goes. Now listen to this, because this one insight changes everything. Your body believes it is literally reliving that stressful event every single time you remember it. It doesn't know the difference. It's experiencing the trauma, the argument, the fear over and over, even when it's just a memory. Your body is physically living in the past. So this brings us to the big turning point. We've figured out the problem, so how in the world do we break this cycle? Well, it all starts by asking ourselves a really fundamental question about the power of our own minds. And the answer, according to the science, is a huge yes. But it takes more than just thinking positive. It actually requires breaking a literal chemical addiction. Our bodies can get addicted to the rush of those familiar negative stress hormones. This right here is the internal battle we all face. It's like a David versus Goliath story happening inside you. You've got your 5% conscious mind, the part that says, I want to be happy and healthy, going up against the 95% subconscious body, which has been conditioned for years to be the mind of those old familiar feelings of suffering or anxiety. And this is exactly why just repeating, I am wealthy when you feel poor, just doesn't work. Your body, which is programmed into an emotional state of lack, will immediately reject that thought. It doesn't match the feeling. See, we have to change the feeling first. So now let's get to the good stuff. We're moving from breaking the old to building the new. This isn't about fighting with your old self. It's about proactively creating a new one. This is the core practice, the real how-to of the 21-day challenge. The work here is to mentally rehearse a new personality. By repeatedly imagining how you want to be, you are literally installing new neurological hardware, new connections in your brain, so that it looks as if the experience has already happened. You're priming your brain and your body for a whole new future. A really key tool in this process is gratitude. And this isn't just some fluffy, feel-good idea. It has powerful, measurable effects on your biology. Studies show that practicing gratitude for just 15 minutes a day can boost a critical part of your immune system by a massive 50% in less than a week. So why is gratitude so powerful? What's the secret sauce? It's because gratitude is the ultimate state of receiving something. When you feel genuinely grateful, your body's chemistry actually changes because, just like with stress, it believes the amazing thing you're grateful for has already happened. You are literally signaling your genes to create a future of health and abundance. And when you consistently practice feeling these elevated emotions like gratitude, something really cool happens. Your heart and your brain begin to synchronize and work together in harmony. This is called coherence. It physiologically moves you out of that survival-based stress response and into a creative state where you can build your new reality. So ultimately, it really comes down to this. The work is simple, but that doesn't mean it's easy. It's a conscious, moment-to-moment choice to stop firing and wiring those old pathways of your past self. Instead, you can choose to step into the energy of your future self. The question isn't just about what you want, but who are you choosing to become right now, in this moment?